This House will come back to order. House will come back to order. We've still got one invite resolution and we have a rules calendar. It's the chair's intention that we're going to go till we finish. House will come to order. Chairman Hogan, you know that as part of your review for tomorrow's journal that you need to reread the Chief Justice's speech a few times, don't you?
Mr. Speaker, I'll be up all night.
That's what I was afraid of. No, rules calendar.
Okay.
For your planning purposes, it's also the chair's intention after this invite resolution to go on to the rules calendar. That's why we're here, is to pass bills. And then if people still want to do morning orders, we'll kind of take those up near the end. If you want to come off the list today, we won't take offense at that.
House Resolution 926 by Representative Couch to the 50th, Gardner the 57th, Smith the 70th, Gilligan to the 24th, and Anulowicz the 42nd. A resolution recognizing Dr. Heike Fuller for her achievements in promoting diplomatic relations between the state of Georgia, the southeast region of the United States of America, and the Federal Republic of Germany, and for other purposes.
Chair recognizes. Just a moment. We have a very special and distinguished guest. And we have a chair, I think, for everyone that's a member of the House. And if you're missing a chair, then please come up here and let us know. Otherwise, when you're in the chamber and we have guests, use your chair. Chair recognizes Representative Couch for an invite resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to give you a special thank you for the flexibility that we can give Dr. Heike Fuller, the Consul General for Germany in Atlanta, the time to address the Chamber. I'm very proud to introduce Dr. Heike Fuller to you and commending her for her achievements in promoting diplomatic relations between the state of Georgia and the southeast region of the United States and the Federal Republic of Germany, which is the second largest trading partner with Georgia. Dr. Fuller was appointed Consul General for Germany in Atlanta in 2018 following a 4-year assignment as Deputy Head of Mission in Lisbon, Portugal. She has a long record of service to the international community and a vested commitment to the state. She has devoted her life to international diplomacy, community service through innovative initiatives, cross-cultural engagement, and providing a comprehensive image of Germany as a modern, future-oriented, and open-minded country. Today, Dr. Fuller is here, accompanied by one of her staff members. Her family, unfortunately, couldn't make it. They are on vacation, as I understand. And I hope you will welcome Dr. Fuller, who would like the opportunity to address the chamber. Thank you very much.
Speaker Ralston, representatives, it's a real honor to be here today. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Representative Angelika Kausche for inviting me and bestowing such a great honor on me. My partner is also your partner. This is a motto made Bavaria and Georgia very close partners in 2008 within a network of first 3 and today 7 power regions on 4 continents. The visit of Governor Kemp and his delegation to Bavaria and other parts of Germany in January highlighted again the very strong economic relationship between Georgia and Bavaria in this framework and beyond. We are very grateful that Georgia, with its thriving innovative ecosystem, its business-friendly environment, and its great reputation as a logistic hub, fosters strong economic and cultural bonds with my country. Roughly 50 million Americans are of German descent, the largest single ethnic group of all. Traces of German heritage can be found all over the US, with hundreds of German heritage associations and German-style Christmas markets. The more than 20 years of town twinning between the vibrant city of Atlanta and Nuremberg in Bavaria made it possible that the original Nuremberg Christkind not only opened the Christkindl market in Nuremberg, but also the one in Atlanta in December last year. The many people-to-people contacts within this lively city partnership are an amazing platform for urban diplomacy and the future development of our cities, complemented by regular shipping services offered by the ports of Savannah and Brunswick to Bremerhaven and Hamburg, daily direct flights from Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to Frankfurt, Munich, Stuttgart, and Düsseldorf. In Georgia, the #1 state to do business, all know that trade and investments are leading the way to grow our respective economies and make our economic relations strong and prosperous. We are very grateful being a partner of Georgia's economic success. Germany is one of Georgia's top 3 investment partners, is currently the 4th largest export market for Georgia, and ranks 2nd among Georgia's importer nations. We appreciate very much that our Georgian and American friends and the American workforce highly value the investments made by more than 3,000 German companies in the US, among them in Georgia over 500, mainly small and medium-sized companies like Bender, Blickle, Diefenbacher, Grenzebacher, Hansgrohe, Koch, Meyer, Sellet, W&K, and many others scattered all over Georgia. In total, nearly 800,000 well-paying jobs are created by German investments in the US, and people on the ground rightly expect that these jobs are safe and not being threatened by trade differences in the transatlantic relations. Thank you very much for maintaining such strong relations with Germany, and thank you very much again for the honor and your continuous support. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Bruce to introduce the Doctor of the Day.
Good morning, everyone. We have Dr. Delphine Head is our Doctor of the Day. She's a family practice doctor. She got her degree from the where is it? Doctorate degree from the University of South Alabama, the College of Medicine, and completed her internship at Morehouse School of Medicine. And she has chosen to be a family practitioner because she just loves taking care of families. So with that, please help me to welcome the Doctor of the Day.
Thank you, Representative Bruce. And thank all of you for the warm welcome. It is an honor to be a part of this great tradition and serve as Doctor of the Day. I am employed for the Southeast Permanente Medical Group. and we care for Kaiser Permanente members. While some of you may not be familiar with our practice, we are the largest physician-owned, physician-led medical group in Atlanta. I and the other 800 members of my group work with you, not an insurance company, to make your care decisions. This has been our model for 70 years, and I'm proud to be a part of that tradition. As an Atlanta native, I have passed this building many, many times. I've lost count. So it's an honor to actually be able to serve in this building, and it means more than words can say. Thank you again for your warm welcome, and I look forward to serving you. And you'll be excited to know there is no co-payments involved today. No co-payments.
We are now going on to the rules calendar. Going on to the rules calendar. Clerk will read the caption to House Bill 799.
House Bill 799 by Representative Blackman and the 146 to be entitled an act to amend Article 3A of Chapter 5 of Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to suspension of license for being in control of a moving vehicle under the influence of a controlled substance. This bill having referred to the Committee on Judiciary Non-Civil. That committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Chairman Blackman to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Fellow members, bring before you today House Bill 799, which would give judges the same level of discretion with a DUI drug conviction as they now have in a DUI alcohol conviction with regards to a driving permit on a temporary basis. And just for a little bit of background, constituent had an issue regarding a prescription drug that she took as prescribed, was picked up the following morning on a DUI drug charge, and she drives as a part of her job, and she found out later that had she been drinking, she would have been allowed potentially by the judge at his discretion a permit to drive on a temporary basis. But under this particular charge, she was not. So this bill is designed to correct that. I do want to thank the PAC and the criminal defense attorneys for vetting this, and also Chairman Setzler and Chairman Efstration for the necessary vetting at the committee level, along with the bill sponsors. Mr. Speaker, that's the bill in a nutshell. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
You have a question if you care to yield.
Yes, sir, I will yield.
Chair recognizes Chairman Efstration to your left for a question.
Does the gentleman yield?
I do, sir.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your presentation. In similar mode to the minority leader's question from yesterday, will you please confirm to the House that House Bill 799 in no way impacts the tax code?
Such is confirmed, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Good bill. Thank you.
You have no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will ask for the body's favorable consideration and yield the will.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of House Bill 799 will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of House Bill 799, the ayes are 159, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to House Bill 521.
House Bill 521 by Representative Gaines, the 117th, and others to be entitled an act to amend Article 2 of Chapter 11 of Title 43, the official code of Georgia Annotated relating to licenses for the practice of dentistry. This bill having referred to the Committee on Health and Human Services. That committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Representative Gaines to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 521 allows non-Georgia licensed dentists and dental hygienists to apply for a temporary limited volunteer license to practice dentistry in Georgia under the direct supervision of a Georgia licensed dentist at free and charitable events. These licenses are valid for non-Georgia licensed dentists and dental hygienists who are in good standing with their home state and for a period of up to 5 days, as long as care is provided on a volunteer basis and free to the patients. These dentists and dental hygienists will be overseen by a Georgia dentist with a ratio of up to 4 to 1 non-Georgia dentists to non-Georgia dentists and dental hygienists to a Georgia dentist. We work with the Georgia Dental Association to craft the language that will best support low-income patients across the state. The Dental Association does such great work by providing these charity clinics across Georgia. For low-income patients, dentistry is often one of the greatest challenges, and this legislation will provide one more avenue to provide quality care free of charge. Mr. Speaker, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
You have a couple of questions if you care to yield.
I will.
Chair recognizes Chairman Hawkins to your right for a question.
Does the gentleman yield?
I do.
Will this bill, this piece of legislation you have, increase access to health care for poor Georgians?
It will.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the question.
Do you further yield?
I do for one more question.
Chair recognizes Representative Cannon to your left for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Do you yield?
I do.
Can you speak to how this will affect pregnant people across the state of Georgia?
Well, the legislation would allow pregnant or otherwise low-income patients to get this care at these free and charitable events across the state.
Do you further yield?
I do.
And so then, are these generally the services that are taken care of by pregnancy Medicaid, or does pregnancy Medicaid not cover this?
These charitable clinics would be for low-income patients who meet in the Georgia code, there's a list of what would qualify for low-income patients, and I'm happy to walk through all the qualifications if that'd be helpful, but this legislation would apply to those patients. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
Gentleman has yielded the will. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines on the passage of House Bill 521. The ayes are 160, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. The clerk will read the caption to House Bill 893. What purpose does Chairman Blackman rise?
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to move that House Bill 715 be returned to the Ways and Means Committee.
After this bill. Yeah. You withdraw that for now?
I do, sir.
All right. You got great potential.
House Bill 893 by Representative Gamble, the 15th and others, to be entitled an act to amend Code Section 33-117 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Special Insurance Fund, Fraud Fund, so as to reduce the frequency of assessments. This bill having referred to the Committee on Insurance, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Representative Gamble to present the bill. Just a minute, gentlemen. Evidently, some of you don't wish to hear the presentations of the bills, and that's certainly, as a great believer in liberty, that's your privilege. But there might be those that do, so the chair is going to ask that if you're in the chamber, be seated and give respect to the members in the well as you would like to have if you were in the well on your bill. A really novel concept. Chair recognizes Representative Gamble to present the bill.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, I stand before you today with House Bill 893. This is a bill that the Department of Insurance brought to us requesting a change to be made in the wording for the Official Code of Georgia to reflect the current practice that they are already doing at the Department of Insurance with regards to collection of the premium fee for the Special Fraud Fund. It will go from being collected quarterly to annually. That's all this does. The fee is still collected. It's still the same amount, but rather than collecting it quarterly, it will just be annually. And I'd be happy to take any questions if there are any, Mr. Speaker.
You have questions if you care to yield.
I will take one, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Stovall to your left for a question.
Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, I do.
Could these funds, the fraud funds, be used for consumers whose insurance companies place defrauded home repair companies that are not registered with the Secretary of State, that they place them on their insurance website? And so if that insurance, if the consumer feel that the insurance company has defrauded them because of companies they placed on their website, could these funds be used for that as well?
I'm sure the gentlelady knows what she speaks. As far as what this bill does and the usage of those funds, I know that Commissioner King is with us today, and he'd be happy to answer this specific question. But all this does is just change the collection of these funds, which are currently being collected in the code from quarterly to annually. That's all this bill does. Mr. Speaker,
You have another question if you care to yield.
I yield the well.
Gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of House Bill 893 will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of House Bill 893, the ayes are 164, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. I'm sorry, for what purpose does Chairman Blackman rise?
Make a motion.
State your motion.
I'd like to move that House Bill 715 be recommitted to the Ways and Means Committee, Mr. Speaker. Obviously, my roommate has rubbed off on me a little bit with regard to these type of procedural issues.
The minority leader might object to that. He was expecting to vote on it today, weren't you? Gentleman has moved that House Bill 715 be recommitted to the Ways and Means Committee. Clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 715 by Representative Blackman and the 146 and others be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 13, Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated relating to general provisions regarding specific business and occupational taxes.
On the gentleman's motion that House Bill 715 be recommitted to the Ways and Means Committee, is there objection? Is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Okay, we're going on now to morning orders. Once again, not trying to influence your decision, but if you choose not to do one, that just means we get to go to lunch sooner. Chair recognizes for a morning order Chairman Nix, Representative Collins, and Representative Cook. They waive. Chair recognizes Chairman Martin for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want the members of the Higher Ed Committee and the Higher Ed Appropriations Committee to know that the independent colleges are down in 125 of the Capitol. They may still have some lunch down there. Earlier today, they had plenty of lunch, but it may be gone. But stop by on the way. Also, we have a Higher Ed meeting at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative McLeod for a morning order. Chair neglected to say earlier, I will now, 1 minute each for morning orders.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Speaker, and big up to my colleagues. For my Black History Moment, I will be telling you about 5 things that African inventors did that changed the world. First, speech. The first words ever spoken by humans occurred in sub-Saharan Africa during the Middle Stone Age. This is supported by genetic, archaeology, paleontology, and more evidence. The oldest known possible mathematical object is the Lombando bones, which was discovered in the Lombimbo Mountains of Swaziland, dated approximately 35,000 BC. Many of the math concepts we use today in schools came from the ancient Egyptians. Navigation. Evidence suggests that ancient Africans sailed to South America and Asia hundreds of years before the Europeans, debunking the propaganda that Europeans were the first to sail in the Americas. Here's to Africa, the birthplace of the human race. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Dubnik for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The hour is late, but the subject is important. I'm here today to recognize my favorite constituent from the 29th District. Last Thursday, the Gainesville JCs presented their annual Young Man and Young Woman Award, a tradition that goes back to 1945. This award is given to someone who has passionately dedicated themselves to our community and recognized those who believe that service to humanity is the best work of life. This year's young woman was described as kind, caring, compassionate, and loving. She's an entrepreneur, a sister, a daughter, a mother to 2 wonderful little boys, and a wife to the person who is speaking these words to you now. My wife, Katie, is so deserving of this award, and I'm here today to tell you how proud I am. However, Mr. Speaker, I was put in a pickle. Governor Kemp and Senator Miller both sent resolutions congratulating her, yet I had no such resolution. So I'm here today in front of God, country, and the Georgia House of Representatives to tell my wife how proud I am of her. And furthermore, I want to tell her thank you for putting up with me since 1999. And Mr. Speaker, today is our 15th wedding anniversary, so I'll simply tell her that I love her and I hope she's watching. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Pruitt for a morning order. Chairman Pruitt. Chair recognizes Representative Scott for a morning order. She waves. Chair recognizes Chairman Darlene Taylor for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we recognize Rural Health Day at the Capitol. I believe we have some folks up in the gallery. Thank you. Thank you to all of those that care about our rural communities and their health. According to Georgia Board of Healthcare Workforce, 78 counties in Georgia have no general surgeons. And what are we doing about it? I'd like to share what Georgia's only state public medical school, the Medical College of Georgia, and Augusta University are doing. Augusta University has a rural surgery program where it allows the rural surgery programs to have more hands-on, and they are delivering surgical services into other places besides Augusta. And this is attracting more doctors and new doctors to open their practices in rural Georgia. They see a higher volume and a much lower acuity cases to help them train better. The Medical College of Georgia 3+ programs allows family practitioners to graduate in 3 years, go immediately into residency, and they will be eligible for loan forgiveness. This is growing our workforce of medical care in the rural communities. And the rural emergency room, they have carts that are prepared by the college that has electronic devices where testing can be done, and they can actually, 5 different communities and ER rooms have mobile carts, where these are in Wills Memorial Hospital in Washington, Emmanuel Medical Center in Swainsboro, Washington County Regional Medical Center in Sandersville, Miller County Hospital in Colquitt, and Crisp Regional Hospital in Cordele. These teleelectronics allow those ER doctors to have the experts on the other end of that electronic hookup. Thank you to all those that are helping South Georgia's rural communities. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Bennett for a morning order.
Good morning and good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise to recognize the Atlanta Business League, the President Leona Barr Davenport. The Atlanta Business League is one of Atlanta's oldest minority business development and advocacy organizations. Today it is my honor to recognize them, the exact organization that recognized Metro Therapy Providers, my business, 30 years ago, and so today I get the honor to recognize them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Hutchinson for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, colleagues. Today I'd like to introduce you to Karena. Karena is 15. She is a loving child who respects her elders and is looking forward to going to college in the near future. Karena is looking for her forever family, and she looks to start a new life when she finds that person. Introducing Karena, she is one of many, many children who are available for adoption today in Georgia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Stovall for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Today we were visited by 7 Pillars Career Academy, the first charter school authorized by Clayton County Public Schools in 10 years. So we were excited to have them here. They've had some struggles starting up as a new charter school, but they are persevering. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What purpose does Representative Schofield rise?
Mr. Speaker, I ask that House Bill 1010.
What's your purpose in rising?
I'd like to make a motion.
State your motion.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I ask that HB 1010 be moved from Judiciary to Industry and Labor. Both chairmen are in agreement.
The lady has moved that House Bill 1010 be transferred from the Judiciary to the Industry and Labor Committee. Clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 1010 by Representative Schofield, the 60th, and others, to be entitled an act to amend Code Section 83201 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated, Article 1 of Chapter 1, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated, and others, to protecting individuals from discrimination in housing.
On the lady's motion that House Bill 1010 be transferred from the Judiciary Committee to the Industry and Labor Committee, is there objection? Is there objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. The clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions.
Recognizing and commending Georgia State University's Legislative Health Policy Certificate Program and Advanced Health Policy Institute. Recognizing March 4th, 2020 as Awesome Girls Day at the State Capitol. Recognizing and commending Victoria Collins. Recognizing and commending Giving Kitchens for receiving the 2019 James Beard Humanitarian of the Year Award. Commending Bloom Our Youth. Recognizing and commending Reverend Richard Allen. Recognizing and commending Reverend David G. Spees. Recognizing and commending Reverend Valerie Allen Thompson. Recognizing and commending Reverend Tommy Lee Benjamin. Congratulating and commending Pino Wells Davis for receiving the 2020 Yellow Rose Nikki T. Randall Servant Leader Award. Recognizing and commending Reverend Dr. Carolyn C. Carlisle. Recognizing February 5th, 2020 is Public Health Day at the State Capitol. Honoring the life and memory of Coach William Bill Ensley Sr. Commending and congratulating Savannah Granito. Commending the contributions of Georgia Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and recognizing February 24th, 2020 is Georgia Asian American Lobby Day at the State Capitol. Recognizing and commending Major Judy Jordan Johnson for her outstanding service and contributions to the city of Lawrenceville, and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? The chair hears none, and the resolutions are adopted. Okay, we're going on now to announcements. The first announcement is, if you have pages here, we're going to be taking page photographs rather expeditiously up here at the podium, so get with your page. We're not going to come looking for you. If you've signed up for an announcement, then make your way to the front of the chamber. Chair recognizes Chairman Sam Watson for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just going to let everybody know that Rural Caucus will meet immediately upon adjournment in 201 Department of Ag. We've got our rural health folks speaking today. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Werkheiser for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House Industry and Labor Committee will meet today at 3 o'clock, CLOB 506. Have a very important measure, so please be there. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Mathiak for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to invite everybody for lunch with the Georgia Family Connection, Capitol Room 216. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Tarvin for an announcement.
Interstate Corporation will meet in CLOB 506 at 1 o'clock.
Chair recognizes Chairman Beverly for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House Democratic Caucus will not be meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. We will not be meeting. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Burchett for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we have the Bird Supper put on by Lowndes County and City of Valdosta. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you over to the Rail Depot from 5 to 7 and come get you some fried quail. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Vance Smith for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Subcommittee, Environmental Quality Subcommittee of Natural Resources and Environment will meet in the morning at 8 a.m. in room 606 CLOB. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Cannon for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to invite all of my colleagues to Community Midwife Day in room 328 of the CLOB. We're meeting right now. 2 fun facts. Georgia used to have over 9,000 direct entry midwives, so please come out and meet the people who are meeting the needs of the maternal mortality crisis. Thanks.
Chair recognizes Chairman F. Stration for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Setzler Subcommittee of Judiciary Non-Civil will meet in room 406 of the CLOB at 1 p.m. today. 1 p.m. today, 406 CLOB.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dickey for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Appropriations Subcommittee on Education will meet today in 341 at 1:30. 1:30. We moved it back 30 minutes. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Collins for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's a change in the committee meeting this afternoon for your state and local government subcommittee. We'll be meeting at 3 p.m. at 6:06. That's 3 p.m. and 6:06. And then the election subcommittee will meet after that at 4 o'clock in 606 CLOB. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Lumsden for an announcement.
Lumsden Subcommittee of Public Safety will be meeting in CLOB 406 at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Evans for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The DeKalb delegation will meet right now for lunch with the school board in CLOB 514. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Donahue for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. State Properties Committee will meet today at 2 o'clock in Capitol 403 building. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Wilkerson for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to invite everybody down to the Rotunda. You can meet some health coaches and learn about the great work that they do in the state of Georgia. They'll be down there from 1 until 5. Thank you.
That completes our announcements. The chair recognizes the Majority Leader of the House for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand in recess until 4 p.m. today and then be adjourned until 10 a.m. Thursday, February the 27th, 2020.
The Majority Leader has moved that this House be in recess until 4 o'clock p.m. today, whereupon we would stand adjourned until Thursday, February 27 at 10 a.m. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes have it, and this House will be in recess until 4 p.m. Then we will be adjourned until Thursday morning at 10 a.m.